What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Jay Dons. We are back at it with another New York Giants video. And before we hop into this one, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Dime Dropper gang. And today we are going to be doing the first New York Giants mock draft on the channel. And let's hop right into it. So with the 5th overall pick, I have the New York Giants selecting offensive tackle or offensive guard, I've heard around, Ikem out of North Carolina State. Some people call this guy the best offensive tackle in the draft. Some people call him the best offensive tackle in the draft. I've seen mocks where he goes number 1. And if you're able to get a player that could possibly go number 1 with the 5th overall pick at a very, very needed position, which is the offensive line for the New York Giants, that would be huge. If the Giants were able to get this guy 5th overall, it would be a home run. It would be a home run. That is an amazing way to start off the first day of the NFL draft, grabbing a guy like Ikem, who is probably the best run blocker in the game, well, in the draft, and is a day 1 starter. He's looking to pancake someone in every single play. They call him, Nasty Icky for a reason, you know what I'm saying? And he lives up to that nickname to the fullest extent. So 5th overall, I have the Giants selecting Ikem, offensive tackle out of North Carolina State. Next, with the 7th overall pick, I had the Giants going to the defense and selecting edge rusher out of Florida State, Jermaine Johnson. Now, I know you have heard a lot about Travon Walker. I've heard a lot about Travon Walker, George Karlaftis, here at 7th. But it's something about Jermaine Johnson that I just like. I don't know if it's the production, because he was very productive in his last year at Florida State. His first year at Florida State after transferring from Georgia. 70 tackles, 18 of those tackles for a loss, and 12 sacks. That's insane production, man. And I think that with his versatility to play the 4-3 defensive end and the 3-4 outside linebacker, this guy is a sleeper pick for me with the 7th overall pick. I think a lot of people are sleeping on this guy to be the pick at number 7th. I would not be surprised if he was the pick, because he had a decent combine. The production is there, the stats are there, and you can watch the film of how good he is at rushing after the quarterback, having that motor, and also setting the edge on run plays. So next, with the 36th overall pick in the 2nd round, I'm going back to offense, and I am addressing the big need here from the Giants, and that is tight end Trey McBride out of Colorado State. Won the John Mackey Award, was unanimous All-American, and once again, you're getting another productive player. 90 receptions for 1,121 yards and just 1 touchdown, which is probably a negative to his probably draft stock, but they didn't have a good quarterback in Colorado State. The quarterback threw 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That's not good numbers right there. So Trey McBride is a guy that is physical. He's a very physical tight end, has the good hands. He's not the fastest of them all, but he can go up there and catch the 50-50 ball and fight for extra yards. That's what I want in a tight end. We need to shy away from the athletic tight ends, because Evan Ingram was a fast tight end and never lived up to it. So let's go get a guy that is straight physical. I'm not going to burn you. I'm going to catch the ball, and then I'm going to run you over. And that's what Trey McBride is. He's just a very physical tight end. I like this kid. If the Giants were able to find him there at 36th overall, they did not go out in free agency and get a tight end, rather who it is, he needs to be the pick, in my opinion, if you're going to give Daniel Jones another weapon for him and a big year for Daniel Jones. Next, with the 67th overall pick, I have the New York Giants selecting Darian Canard, offensive tackle out of Kentucky. Now, this guy was a 3-year starter at right tackle, but reports that came out that in the NFL, he's going to transition into a guard, and that is another position of need for the New York Giants. I could imagine Darian Canard and Ikem on the right side. That would be crazy, because both of these guys are nasty players. Darian Canard is a mauler. He is a mauler. He finishes his blocks. I love this kid. This guy right here is always looking to put somebody on their behind. always, and I just want that on the Giants offensive line. If you got Andrew Thomas controlling the left spot, Shane Lemieux, whoever you draft at center or whoever you sign at center, then you have a nasty right guard and a nasty right tackle in Ike McConwu, the Giants are going to start setting the tone on the offensive line. That's what they have to start doing. They have to start setting that tone on the offensive line because that's where the game is won, in the trenches. But Darian Canard was a 3-year starter at right tackle, did great there. And if he can transition into guard with his size, because he's a good 6'5", 345, I love that with him and Ikem on that right side. With the 81st overall pick, I have the Giants selecting Leo Chenal, linebacker out of Wisconsin. Now, I love this pick right here. I love this pick mostly because he was blitzed a lot at Wisconsin. They used him a lot blitzing over the center and the guard at Wisconsin because that's what Wisconsin do. They bring them blitzes. They bring that pressure. But you know who else is a defensive coordinator that brings the blitzes and brings the pressure? Wink Martindale, the new defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. Now, he's not a coverage linebacker. Leo Chenal is not a coverage guy. But if anything, he's like a Blake Martinez clone. You're going to see majority of his best plays in the running game, chasing after the quarterback. You're not going to see this guy going up there and knocking the ball down from tight ends, making athletic interceptions like Kyle Hamilton. You're not going to see that. But I don't think the end-all, be-all of the Giants' defense success is them not having a coverage linebacker. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think the Giants need a coverage linebacker to have a great defense. But Leo Chenal is like a Blake Martinez clone, and I feel like he can learn some things from him, you know what I'm saying? Leo Chenal might not be a day one starter, but if he's getting taught by a guy like Blake Martinez that I think plays like him, he might be a starter sooner rather than later. Next, with the 110th pick in the NFL draft, I have the Giants selecting Donovan West, center out of I think Arizona State. Now, this guy right here is undersized. He's very undersized. He is versatile. He is a smart player. But right here in the 4th round, I'm just adding more bodies on the offensive line. I'm just adding more depth on the offensive line. You know, the Giants don't have a center right now. So if you go out there and you you go out there and you sign a center, then you're going to need somebody to, back up him. And I think Donovan West can fill in that role very greatly, even at center or at one of the guard spots, because he's a lot of versatile. He's very versatile inside. So right here with Donovan West, I am just adding more bodies on the offensive line. Next, with the 146th pick, I have the Giants selecting Hassan Haskins out of Michigan. Now, I like this guy. I like this guy mostly because he's not Saquon Barkley. He's not gonna, break you down, juke you out of your socks, burn you. He's not that. This guy is a physical downhill runner. He is what Saquon isn't. A lot of people give Saquon slack because he's not physical. As soon as he get hit, he's going straight to the ground. That ain't Hassan Haskins. This guy right here is going to run you over if he has to. He's going to be fighting for that extra yards. The dude had 20 touchdowns last year at Michigan. I feel like this guy's getting low-key slept on. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be a first-round draft pick, second-round draft pick, nothing like that. But I think when we're talking about running backs later on in the draft, I'm not hearing Hassan Haskins' name enough. So if the Giants are able to grab this guy right here to back up Saquon, I will love it because this guy is physical. He's physical. He's not as elusive as Saquon is, but he will run somebody over. With Saquon, we already know that's not his style of play. And when Saquon Barkley needs a breather, if he gets hurt, because we know that that's basically what his career has been over the past couple of seasons, Hassan Haskins can, fill in that role, bring some physicality to the offense. Next, with the 172nd pick in the NFL draft, I have the Giants selecting Tyquan Thornton. Mr. 428. This guy right here basically won the combine after almost breaking the record. Did he break the record? I'm not sure. I don't even know. But the Giants actually had the guy who held the record for the fastest 40 time at the combine, John Ross. Free agent. If the Giants don't want to bring him back, grab the guy that almost broke the record. and Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor. With the new offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka, you know what I'm saying, and Brian Dable, both of these guys had a player or players on their offense, you know, and their former teams that were fast, that were just blazing speed. Isaiah McKenzie, now he's not, you know, gonna burn you, but he had the short area speed, quickness to just get those yards, get those short down gains when a short down gain is needed. Mecole Hardman, blazing speed. Tyreek Hill, blazing speed. I'm grabbing a guy that can resemble that kind of later on in the draft with Tyquan Thornton. Now, I don't know if he's going to be here. I really don't know. This is a very questionable one for me because somebody's going to fall in love with that speed. Somebody's going to fall in love with that 42 and say, hey, let's draft him in the first round. It's just bound to happen. Somebody's going to take Tyquan Thornton earlier than where I have him at right here, which is the 172nd overall pick. Now, with the last pick in the draft for the New York Giants, I had them selecting with the 183rd overall pick, Matt Punt God Araiza, or Araiza, I'm not sure. But this dude has a leg. Dude has a absolute leg. The Giants need to cut ties with Riley Dixon. I don't know if they cut him yet, but they need to cut him. You cutting Kyle Rudolph, you cutting Devontae Booker, you got to cut Riley Dixon because he was not good last year. But this dude can flip the field, had 18 punts of 60 yards or more, which is crazy. Joe Judge would have loved this guy. Joe Judge would have loved Matt Araiza. He would have drafted him way early. He would have drafted him in the second round because this guy is a pretty good punter. He's probably the best special teamer in the NFL draft. And I think if the Giants don't want to go out there and sign a punter, definitely go out and take this guy in the 6th round with your last pick in the NFL draft. That's it. That is my first mock draft for the New York Giants 1.0. This is still very early. Free agency isn't out. Free agency didn't even start yet, even though there has been trades. Russell Wilson got traded to the freaking Broncos. Mike Williams got a new deal. A lot of things are happening, but free agency isn't here yet. The draft isn't here yet. It's close. That was like 40 days away. So there are going to be more mock draft videos coming out on the channel. If you guys enjoyed, though, leave a like, comment, hit the subscribe button. And until then, it's been your boy Jay Diamonds. We are out. Peace.